Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. So, what have we got today then? Well, I did a video a little while ago called 5 blues licks that I probably rely on too much, and this is kind of another one in that similar sort of vein. When it comes to playing fast, there is one technique that I probably rely upon too much, to be honest with you, tapping. And it's a technique that I'd heard and didn't really kind of know how it was being done until I happened to see an episode of a TV show that I've spoke about in another recent video called Rock School, where it was basically a thing on the BBC in the 80s where there was a rock band in a TV studio showing you how to kind of play rock music, I guess. And the guitarist on that show, very talented lady called Deirdre Cartwright, demonstrated tapping, and immediately I saw it. I thought, oh, okay, so that's how it's done. That's how you get that sound. And my recollections of it are probably not entirely accurate, but I remember thinking, yeah, I can do that, and just trying it and being able to do it. It was probably something a little bit more involved than that, and I probably had to work a bit harder at it than I'm remembering. But certainly compared to any of the other speedy techniques that there are, sweeping, alternate picking, any legato, anything like that, then it's certainly tapping is the one that I just took to very, very naturally. So it's a technique, as I say, I probably rely on a little bit too much. And yeah, here are the 5 licks using that technique that I probably rely on a little bit too much. Let's have a look at lick number 1. Here it is. Okay, so there you have it. What's going on there is basically just a very straightforward and simple little A minor pentatonic run. All of these licks in this video are all in A minor, by the way. I'm sure you're all kind of quite familiar with this little shape. That kind of thing. That linear pentatonic pattern that kind of goes up and down the neck, and all I'm doing with that is I'm tapping a note at the 12th fret and finally the 15th fret as a way of getting onto each new string. So like that, and it kind of has a nice sort of angular feel, I think, and sounds a lot harder than it is, frankly. Anyway, let's move on to lick number 2. Okay, this one is just another A minor pentatonic thing, once again coming down what is essentially a very, very widely known and easy to navigate little scale run, essentially the same thing that we were doing before, but kind of coming down it. So, this lick here would not be thought of necessarily as a particularly difficult lick where you something like that. That's fairly straightforward, and all I'm doing is kind of partnering up each pair of notes as I'm coming down. You played with the first finger and third finger like that, with the next A minor pentatonic scale note above that pair, but doing it with this finger. So that kind of thing, and makes a really nice kind of descending kind of waterfall kind of lick, I think of it, because it's got that sort of I don't know, it just reminds me of a waterfall for some reason. Anyway, let's move on to lick number 3. Okay, this one, again, A minor pentatonic, and once again, this hand is doing something pretty basic and fundamental, and it's just literally the middle part of that position 1 A minor pentatonic box. And all I'm doing with this hand is just tracing out an A minor arpeggio. Like that, okay? And you put the two together. And you've got a cool sounding lick. Simple as that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is sort of my attempt to do something that is a little bit Gary Moore-like, and I often kind of used to think that Gary Moore was using tapping when he would play this kind of lick, until I read in an interview in the late 80s that he really didn't feel comfortable doing tapping. You know, he could play awesome licks like this without having to get this hand involved at all. But it's just basically just this, you know, 10th fret, pull off to the 5th, hammer on at the 8th, and then do it again. But when you hammer on at the 8th on the next one, you land on the 3rd string, which is what's giving you that kind of D sharp blues note kind of thing. Like that, and just repeat until you've thought of what you're going to play next, which is the way I use a lot of these repetitive licks. Okay, let's have a look at the final one. Okay, with this one, again, A minor, with once again the addition of the B note, the 9th, which is a fairly uncontroversial note to use in most circumstances of A minor. It's not in the pentatonic, but you can usually get away with adding it in. And I'm going basically up and down a little B, C, D, 7, 8 and 10th fret run on this. Then, just with this hand, I'm just kind of going to the next, just extending that A minor pentatonic scale up the string. So, E, G, A. And just going through those notes, and you put that together and you get... And then just tie it off, as I like to say, on a bend at the end. Something like that. Probably do it a bit better than that though in reality. So there you go. There are my 5 tapping licks that I probably rely upon too much. As I said at the start of this video, I really do find this a super easy way of adding some flashy pyrotechnics into a solo. Hopefully that might ignite something similar with you. Maybe you find these easy as well, and you know, use them in your own solos and stuff. And yeah, that's it for today, folks. I will just mention, as I always do at this point, that I have a course on sale at the moment, Making the Modes Easy. It's available from there, and it's getting all kinds of nice things said about it on the Udemy tuition platform, 4- and 5-star reviews, and you get everything that you need to make the modes easy. Solos, licks, jam tracks, explanations, everything you need, all in plain English, no techno-babble jargon. So, you know, treat yourself, why don't you? You won't regret it. Or if you prefer some tailored one-to-one guitar tuition, give me a shout via the details at the end of this video. If you live on Teesside in the northeast of England, you can come along for a face-to-face lesson, or wherever else you are in the world, you can have a lesson via Skype, and whichever way you do it, as I'm sure you're aware by now, your first lesson is of course free, so what have you got to lose? And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a like, and why not hit subscribe and the notification bell as well, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again next time around. Bye for now, folks.